Hi, welcome back. So we're at the last outline of using an introduction to NumPy package. Now in this I'm gonna extend as an appendix also the same use of NumPy is working with something called the MatPlotlib library. There are a lot of details into this library. I'm just gonna give you a very basic scratching of the surface on it. If you'd like also you can use a documentation on this package on its own. We're gonna first of all import it. It's as simple as getting import the matplot as PLT. This is the convention actually of working. So anytime I get PLT, I would be working with a matplot. For example, if I would have this MP array and I would like to plot this array. So basically as simple as using the following line, PLT, plot for me this array, which is A. So basically the result as expected would return back to you graphing the Y axes here represent the values that we have just presented in here, and the x-axis represent the index of them. So this is the most basic graph you can get once you plot. So the index against the values that you define. Also, maybe you can plot, use the line space, and I'm going to get another NumPy array as well, and just let's run this and see the values as you can get them as expected. So this is the first array. There are 20 values in here between 0 and 5, and then you get the other one with another 20 values as well between 0 and 10. If I would like to actually plot this, plot X and Y, so this is going to be a line. Let me just run this one and see what the result looks like. Purple line that represent the relation between the X and the Y. Also, I can again plot X and Y. The outcome I would like to be dot. It's the same exact line, however, it's going to be in a dot format just like so. Maybe also you can work on 3-dimension plot. Well, I'm going to create something called figure, which is actually a plt.figure function. First of all, let's create an axis here. Now all this from the documentation, this is the way you deal with the function called the add subplot, which is a member of this PLT figure. Next thing, I'm going to create the X, and I'm going to do actually one more Y. Now for the X and the Y, create something called the NumPy.meshGrid. Now meshGrid is going to create like surface space where you start to calculate another axis of Z. Going to create a value called R for now. And I'm just going to create the square root of X plus the Y. So this is a function. You could just think of it as a kind of a sine function or whatsoever. And then I'm going to create now the Z axis, which is mp.thesine of that R value. I'm just going to get into AX, which is the grid that we have just, or the figure that we have just created, dot plot surface with X, Y, and the Z. Let's try to run this, and the result will be expected to be a 3-dimension. Okay, that was all what you need maybe to know from a basic perspective about the use and the work with a NumPy package. There's also another package called the pandas package. We're going to have also a quick look and intro to it. I will see you then.